Hello and welcome back to the channel, and if it's your first time here, do consider liking and subscribing. I'm trying to grow the channel, and that really does make a difference. So if you're new here, this is a video about the making of Irish independent science fiction comedy film, feature film called Gardener's Planet, and it's a film that's been in the middle of production and pre-production for a little over 2 years, and this video is going to be about all the things I've learned from shooting and reshooting this film. So making an independent feature film, as you know if you're watching this, is extremely hard. And it's not like I don't have any experience. I've made dozens of short films, I've put on plays, I've worked on animation projects, and I've even made another feature film in 2018 called I'm Talking to You. Check it out. But the scene that we're focusing on today is the scene where Harry, our main character, played by Michael Parle, is splitting from his partner Claire, played by Ursula O'Connell. And it's a very important scene happening near the start of the film that kind of provides the basis of Harry's emotional status for the rest of the film. So it's a scene that I really knew I had to get right. So our initial block of shooting was in 2022, and this scene was just squeezed into that. It was an important scene, but we had a load of important scenes. We were trying to shoot at least 80% of a feature film in a 4-week period, and we had other stuff to shoot that evening. So we had Ursula come down to Wexford, where we originally shot this scene, and we tried our best, but you know, in retrospect especially, I feel I made every mistake possible that a filmmaker can make. I shot at the wrong color temperature. I kind of set it in a bad location in the restaurant that we had a window nearby, and that was massively overexposing the scene. A scene that was an actor's scene, which should have felt natural, instead felt forced and stifled. And at a certain point on the day, I just felt like probably tired, you know. I just felt like I didn't know what I was doing. And yeah, I was probably just tired and burned out. And it takes so much work to make a film and to have things come together on a day, in terms of the writing, in terms of booking a scene, in terms of having the actors come down. And when we left that day, I know I felt incredibly frustrated, and I knew I would have to come back and reshoot this scene, and it was so incredibly frustrating and disheartening on the day. I thought I might be able to make it work in the editing, and I tried. I brought it down from the original 6 or 7 minutes that the scene was, which was way too long, to something like 3 minutes, but it just wasn't working at all, and incredibly frustrating. So it's been earmarked for a long while, as a scene that has had to be reshot. So fast forward 20 months, last week we were finally able to reshoot the scene. We shot it here in Cork. We went to Artie's Bar in Ballincollig, who were amazing, and thank you so much for helping us and giving us the great space that you gave us. And in redoing the scene, I knew I had to get super organized and just be super prepared. And I've spoken on this channel before about how much I love Bergman, and something that Bergman always does in his scenes and dialogue scenes is when you have two people talking, you can often see the two faces on the screen at the same time. And I was watching The Insider a few weeks ago before shooting this, and there's a great moment where Russell Crowe is kind of on the fence about testifying against his former bosses in the cigarette company, and he kind of turns towards the company, the camera, and you've got the other kind of actors in the background. So you've got the two faces. And I saw that and I was like, okay, this is great. I need to include this moment in the scene. So knowing that, I wanted to include that shot kind of as a key kind of heart of the scene, where you see Harry's kind of inner thoughts as he turns towards the kind of camera, and you see his face full of doubt. Claire has kind of a monologue where she's kind of fantasizing about her future, and in the script that felt the perfect opportunity to have kind of Harry turn around and see his face, while you have Ursula in the background out of focus, and the focus is on Harry, emphasizing him as the main character, and you see him full of toil. So I knew I wanted to include that shot, so the script was rewritten around that shot to include that shot. And in terms of rewriting the scene, I rewrote around that paragraph. Then I filmed me just acting it out. Then I edited that, I looked at it, I rewrote it again, I filmed it again, I looked at it again, and that was kind of how we arrived at the last draft that we filmed last week. So that was a great process, the rewriting, reshooting and editing it just for myself in order to make it as clear as possible for me what was and wasn't necessary in the scene. And yeah, I'm really glad I did that. I did that, and I think that's made a massive difference to the scene. So the shoot itself last week in Ballincollig went really smoothly. I did again, which was a big problem in the original shooting of this scene, underestimate the time of this. And I underestimated the time as well last week. It took 6 hours to shoot 3 minutes of a dialogue scene, but in order to get it right, you know, it takes that time, and I'm learning. I did a really good job on the lighting. I mean, I'm happy with it anyway. I did some nice kind of subtle stuff where I had kind of a nice candle in the back of the scene. I had kind of hard light coming in from one half of the character's face, and then soft light from my godox a bit further away. And that was a really nice contrast then on the actors' faces. And it was just better in every way than the original shoot. I mean, when you make every mistake possible, you can only go up from there. So I've spoken before in other videos on this channel of some of the reshoots we've done. I spoke about the reshoot of the Garda scene outdoors of Harry's house. I spoke about the reshoot of the Harry and Ben scene, moving from the sitting room to the kitchen. And now this scene, the separation scene that we've begun to call it, was reshot as well. And they're kind of one after the other in those things. So it was very frustrating in the original scene to get all those scenes wrong. So what have I learned? One, I've learned the scenes need to be shorter. I seem to be writing way too much dialogue, and the actors kind of laugh about this, saying Thomas loves to rewrite. So I need to make the dialogue a lot shorter and a lot more to the point. Two, I think I need to visit the locations. All those three locations, from the sitting room to the steps to the house to the pub, I had never been in before. And I think when you're doing a lot on one day, it's very easy to just kind of decide to make decisions quickly in order to feel like you need to push the shoot forward. But it's important as well to not feel like you need to own every problem, and that if you're open about not knowing the solutions, and you say, if someone asks you a question, you can go, gee, I'm not sure, and that someone else will have ideas and they'll be able to help you out. And I do probably have an issue with being the cinematographer, the director and the producer all on the same day. That's a challenge that I probably need to find a way of getting around, you know, having other people on set to help me. So that's it. This is going to be a shorter video because some of these videos are just way too long. I hope this is short when I edit it down. But it was just a video to let you know that we've reshot that scene. That's really, really satisfying now to just be kind of finishing off the editing of it and to be able to put that in the timeline. And like I say, now that all those three scenes have been reshot, it may have taken a long time, but they're done. Now they're reshot and they can be put into the film one after the other. It's just so satisfying after waiting for it so long. And you know, when it's the opening of the movie, you know, these are the first three scenes essentially. You've got to have a strong opening. You know, if your first three scenes are not working, people are just, they're not going to take the rest of your movie seriously. So we put a lot of effort into reshooting those scenes and a lot of time, and I'm very grateful to the cast and the other crew who've supported me on this journey to try and correct my mistakes. So great, thank you for watching. We're going to have another video soon. As I said, like and subscribe. My last video was a very cool video on Chinatown and Francis Ford Coppola. These two books here, an interesting review of those books. I'd definitely like to do more book reviews on this channel. That would be something cool to do, film book reviews, and also to maintain these kind of video vlog updates on the project. So in terms of Gardener's Planet, the next thing that we're going to be doing is the climactic scene, and we're going to do another video on that. We've done some location recce's, and we're hoping to do another video, doing another pickup of that in June. But we will have another vlog or two between now and then, letting you know where we are with that, including some of the footage of the recce's, and hopefully interviews with other people involved as well. That's something I really want to do, so it's not just me talking. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.